do you think like going through both of those, uh, do you see the value still in the 4 year, or do you think
Yeah, most
okay,
definitely. I tell people that all the time. I never uh regret or say that it was a bad experience or that I wasn't able to attain any type of skills from going to a HBCU or a four year university because I when I was at TSU, man, I learned how to network. I was a communications major, so I took speech class and all that. So I learned how to articulate better when I'm, interacting with others. And then too, just being around people, that would needed to hold me accountable, bro. Like I had professors that would always pull me to the side and be like, "Hey, man, you too smart to be walking around here like like you're not." You know what I'm saying? Because I would do little immature stuff. Like anybody who know me know I'm an advocate for marijuana use. You know what I'm saying? I smoke a lot of marijuana, bro, and a lot of times now when I smoke it, it's for my anxiety and my pain relief. But back then in college, I was just smoking weed because I like to get high. So I would come to class high, smelling like weed, and just the immature stuff. But I would still do my work. I would still participate in class discussion, and that's why my professors would pull me to the side, like, "Man, you a bright young man. Why you come to class in your pajamas smelling like marijuana?" You know what I'm saying? If the average person not gonna take you serious, and so
hmm,
I appreciate all those. I guess we could call it disciplinary interactions with my professors, man. One in particular, man, and you probably heard of him before, named Marcus Wiley, man. He was one of my speak professors. He's actually a comedian. He on the Yolanda Adams morning show,
hmm,
all that type of stuff, man. And he went to Higher D. He was actually a deacon at Higher D, man. And I thought because I knew him outside of TSU that I could just come to his class and just, pretty much breeze through there and he wasn't gonna hold me account. He was gonna pass me anyway, but I got an F in that man class. And I went to him like, "Man, why you I thought he was like, "Yeah, nigga," I'm finna, excuse my language, but he was like, "Yeah, nigga, I fuck with you, but I'm not finna pass you just because I fuck with you, nigga. This is a class and you need to take this serious." And so next semester when I took his class, like I took it serious, bro. And I needed that lesson at that time because I was in my 20s. I wasn't
yeah,
taking
yeah.
stuff serious, man. And he had to teach me that lesson, man. And I'm thankful that he did that. And every time I see him, I always tell him that, man. Thank you for that F.
Season 2 of Gentlemen's History Hour is sponsored by HughRepublic.com. HUE Republic.com. Go to HughRepublic.com and get the latest colors to rep your hue. Gentlemen's History Hour, Season 2.
Hey, what's up, man? We here with a GHH session, man. Holding it down today is Rob J10X, man, and I got my homeboy, man, Melik, joining us virtually, man. What's up, brother?
What's going down, man?
Hey,
Just
cool.
celebrating Juneteenth on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. Like I was telling you earlier, man. I'm actually on Juneteenth. I try to support black business as much as I can, even though I do it 365, man. So I just got a smoothie bowl from one of my favorite black-owned juice bars by the crib. Got me some cold fresh juice. When I get done with y'all, I'm going to see my black masseuse. You know what I'm saying? So I can, cause I prioritize my self care. So I'm going to
Nah,
get
hey, you do a
rub.
good job. You do a great job with your self care, man, and with your attitude, man. That man show up ready for life every day. Hey, I like the support, man. Hey, man, but we're gonna have to get you with my brother Talik, man. We're gonna have to address that hat, man. You are home. This your home, man. This the soil, man. That ain't your soil. Your soil here, man. But anyway,
You right.
man. Hey,
You right.
one of the things that's unique about you, man, is like you have a really a hybrid of two essential educational experiences that really are the backbone of the Black American experience, and really the transition and the debate of which we should be focusing on, being that you are a TSU grad, and along with being a TSU grad and getting some corporate experience working at like Fox Sports, you also have put together a collection of trades. This what I remember: journeyman electrician, HVAC, teacher, and you got to fill in the rest, man.
I'm a licensed home inspector. Also, I'm a licensed masseuse as well, but I just don't tell a whole lot of people that because now it's a stigma with being a licensed massage therapist because there's so many dudes, man, that's out here messing the game up with these unprofessional massages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm just pretty good with my hands. I like working with my hands. As you can see, I'm in my truck right now in the background. You see that mechanic creeper in the back, man. I'll be under trucks doing wiring on cameras, and I do it all, man. I'm just thankful that I got activity all my limbs, man. I'm in good health, and God allowed me all these opportunities to be able to work for myself, man.
So
I'm extremely thankful for that.
most definitely. And tell me about your transition into looking at the trades as an option. Because I know coming out with the communication degree, working with the camera. I actually came out of school pretty similar, like on the same path. And I didn't tell you this, but I was part of the media ministry at Higher D too, man. I wasn't paid like y'all. Like you told all them, I wasn't on the pay. They wasn't paying me. But yeah, I was holding that camera. Now I feel some type of way, but it's all good. But yeah, man. So, how did you make that transition, though, man? From your corporate to like what introduced you to the idea of getting trades?
What introduced me to the idea was I had an OG, man, that had just came home from the federal penitentiary, man, and he was in a halfway house, and I was going to visit him, on a regular basis, man, and we were just talking about life, and he was telling me, he was going to get into trade school to become an electrician. And in my head, I was, kind of wondering why he was doing that because, he pretty much still had money, saved up to where he could, invest it in whatever he wanted to invest it in. And he didn't really, have to do that or whatever. But he kind of broke it down to me. He was like, man, the trade I'm getting is going to always be a demand for it. And I'm always have a job. I'll never be broke. I thought about it. I'm like, man, he right. And so I was like, he telling me I need to do my research on the trade that I would like, and that it would be a high demand for. And he also informed me that it was programs out there which I wasn't knowledgeable of that I could get in, and they would pay for my tuition to go to trade school. And I was like, huh? And so, one of the programs was Houston Work Stores, and he told me to go holler at them, man. I went and hollered at Houston Work Stores, and they told me whatever trade school I decided to go to, let them know, and they would let me know if they would I would qualify to get my tuition paid for. And I did that, man, and it worked out. I got my tuition paid for. I did a dual program where I got certified as an electrician and as an HVAC and refrigeration technician. And they gave me a gas card, and I didn't even know this stuff was out here, man.
Hold up, you got at the same time you got your electrician certification, HVAC. They gave you a card to pay for your gas and refrigeration. And how long was the program?
They had two different programs. One was a 6-week program and one was a 9-week program. The 9-week program was at night. I had a job during the day working at Specs Liquor Store, and I had an overnight job too. So I got in the night program, which was 9 weeks. The 6-week program was if you go during the day, like basically like you going to school or whatever for 8 hours. But they had two different programs. I was just in the 9. It took me 9 weeks, bro. And to be honest with you, trade school, well, I'm gonna say the one I went to, we did some hands-on, but it was mostly us being prepared to take our test that we had to take. And so I actually found an app that I could download on my phone to study for the test. And I was taking practice tests like every day, and all the answers on the practice test was on the regular test. So to be honest with you, I memorized all the answers, bro. And that's how I passed the test. But I didn't really learn anything till I got out in the field, and I started asking dudes, hey man, let me shadow you. You ain't gotta pay me nothing. I just want to learn. And it was a couple of dudes that actually gave me an opportunity to just shadow them, and they would let me do things, and I messed up a few times, you know what I'm saying? But I learned from those mistakes that I made, so I'm thankful for those dudes as well.
So your process basically was like you did 9 weeks, and then from 9 weeks you really just worked your way into some almost like apprentice type relationships with people who in that space.
I mean, the school had a job placement office, but before I knew I was gonna take the test and all that, I was already looking for a job in that field. You know what I'm saying? And so by the time I passed my test and all that type of stuff, man, I already had a job coming out of trade school, and that was with the guy I told you about. You know, he didn't he didn't it didn't sit well with him when he saw my tattoos and stuff, man. But you know, that was another lesson learned. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm thankful for other brothers that look like me that gave me an opportunity. That dude, he only gave me an opportunity because he didn't, you know, I guess thought that he could groom me into the technician he wanted me to be. But I wanted to be I want to be the technician that, you know, God want me to be.
To fill in the listeners too, the story was that you know, you started a job and he saw your tattoos, right? And that's why.
Yeah, so basically I would always wear long sleeve shirts. You know what I'm saying? I got tats all over my arm, you know, so I was just like, I was telling him, you know, when I go to these customers place of business or whatever, I know I'm not representing me, I'm representing his company, so I would wear long sleeve shirts. And he was like, man, it's hot as hell. Why you always got a long sleeve? This a white guy, you know. I mean, he was from East Bernard, Texas, and I don't know if you guys ever been to East Bernard, Texas. It's not a lot of us there, you know. And it used to be a KKK headquarters or whatever. But anyways, so he asked me to take my shirt off, well, not my shirt off, but like lift my sleeves up so he could see the tattoo. But he was curious about what I had, and when I showed him, you know, like he saw this one. There's Africa RBG flag colors in the background. This one, a black fish, say power to the people. So the next day I came to work, he called me into the office and was like, man, this ain't gonna work. You know, I think I need to go in another direction, and start telling me everything I was doing wrong. Mind you, I'm fresh out of trade school.
Yeah.
I'm not really too knowledgeable of everything in the refrigeration business. I'm thinking that, you know, I'm in an entry level position, so I'm still learning or whatever. But you know, I was pretty much laid off, and I knew what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I wasn't tripping. You know
hey,
what I'm saying?
before you saw those tattoos, you were a kind Negro. Once you saw the tattoos, you became dangerous. That's just what
Exactly.
it is. No, the help is reserved for one type of black person. You know what I'm saying? Someone who makes them feel comfortable. You know, nah, understood. But even still, though, I know it didn't work out. But how long had it been since you started trade? So you started trade school, took the test, and you know, how long was it between trade school and not necessarily that job, but like you actually being able to, you know, provide for yourself with your trade?
Okay, so after I got laid off from that job, man, I got with a brother I was introduced to through one of my homeboys that went to Yates, man. I ain't gonna lie, that's why I went to Worthing, but I got a lot of love for the JY alumni, man. There's some good brothers out of that school, man. A guy by the name of Mr. Rucker, man. He graduated from Yates, named Jason Rucker. We call him Casper, man. He from Third Ward. He had his own HVAC business up and running already. And so he was letting me go on calls with him, doing installs. If it was like a little small service call where a capacitor had to be changed or some condenser coils need to be cleaned or something, like he would let me do that. And that's how I, you know, pretty much honed my craft at first. And he used to always tell me, like, man, if you want to start your own business, you can do that. Just let me know, you know what I'm saying, if you're trying to do that. And I was like, sure, yeah, I'm trying to do that. And so I went and got my DBA, went and got my LLC, got some shirts made, some hats made, business cards made, man, and I started passing them out. And if somebody let me do a service call or do some preventative maintenance at their home, you know, I was taking pictures and videos and putting them on social media, man. And next thing I know, man, it just starts spreading like wildfire, man, and people just hitting me up, man. Like, God is good, like for real. Like I was telling you, bro, I ain't do no flyers, I ain't do no radio advertisements, like none of that, man. It was just really like people that really, you know, messed with me genuinely and authentically was giving me an opportunity to come service their HVAC unit, or if they had any issues, they was letting me come look at it. And if I couldn't fix the problem, I knew somebody who could, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm thankful for that, man, because it's 7 years in the game right now, bro. Like,
Man,
and
that's
I've been
interesting.
working for myself full time, and I brought it to the East Coast, and I still got it in Texas. I subcontracted a technician to still work for Rapper Great while I'm gone, so I'm still, you know, doing that, man. God is good, like for real,
Man,
bro.
it is a blessing. And you know, and really looking at your story is really, I mean, just a man. This is a very vanilla paraphrasing of it, but it kind of represents a lot of the philosophy of like Booker T. Washington, in contrast to some of the philosophy of W.B. Du Bois. Booker T. Washington being uh, more of the philosophy that we need skills, and we need to know how to make the leather of the shoe, and feeling like those skill sets would empower us, versus us more so wanting to engage just purely and try to integrate just through the academia intellectual space like that. But you having both, um, obviously, I know you started out college on an athletic scholarship, but let's just take that point that part away and just say, as a regular student, right? If as a regular student at TSU, it's a 4-year degree. Let's say even if it's in state, hold on, there's some level of cost to it. It's I think people are probably a little slower to help a 4-year fresh out of school graduate start a business than an HVAC trade person who spent a year or spent some working under somebody who's mentored them. It's kind of wild to say, but it's like I think I would feel more comfortable investing in the HVAC person. But do you think, like, going through both of those, uh, do you see the value still in the 4 year, or do you think
Yeah, most
okay?
definitely. I tell people that all the time. I never uh regret or say that it was a bad experience or that I wasn't able to attain any type of skills from going to a HBCU or a 4-year university, because when I was at TSU, man, I learned how to network. I was a communications major, so I took speech class and all that. So I learned how to articulate better when I'm interacting with others. And then too, just being around people, that would needed to hold me accountable, bro. Like, I had professors that would always pull me to the side and be like, "Hey, man, you too smart to be walking around here like like you're not." You know what I'm saying? Because I would do little immature stuff. Like, anybody who know me know I'm an advocate for marijuana use. You know what I'm saying? I smoke a lot of marijuana, bro, and a lot of times now when I smoke it, it's for my anxiety and my pain relief. But back then in college, I was just smoking weed because I like to get high. So I would come to class high, smelling like weed, and just the immature stuff. But I would still do my work. I would still participate in class discussion, and that's why my professors would pull me to the side, like, "Man, you a bright young man. Why you come to class in your pajamas smelling like marijuana?" You know what I'm saying? If the average person not gonna take you serious. And so
Hmm.
I appreciate all those I guess we could call it disciplinary interactions with my professors, man. One in particular, man, and you probably heard of him before, named Marcus Wiley, man. He was one of my speak professors. He's actually a comedian. He on the Yolanda Adams morning show,
Hmm.
all that type of stuff, man. And he went to Higher D. He was actually a deacon at Higher D, man. And I thought because I knew him outside of TSU, that I could just come to his class and just, pretty much breeze through there, and he wasn't gonna hold me account. He was gonna pass me anyway. But I got an F in that man class, and I went to him like, man, why you? I thought we was. He was like, yeah, nigga. I'm finna, excuse my language, but he was like, yeah, nigga, I fuck with you, but I'm not finna pass you just because I fuck with you, nigga. This is a class, and you need to take this serious. And so next semester when I took his class, like I took it serious, bro. And I needed that lesson at that time because I was in my 20s. I wasn't taking stuff serious, man. And he had to teach me that lesson, man. And I'm thankful that he did that. And every time I see him, I always tell him that, man. Thank you for that F.
Live all the way live. I bet you never knew that Houston. We in the house. So where we from? Houston.
This is Flash Gordon Parks. You're listening to Soul One. PeaceOfMind.com.
Hey, I know you said that a lot of this stuff is available in schools and some of the high school programs. I vaguely remember Woodshop when I was in high school. If it is available, I don't feel like I know that many people that are in the know about some of the program, like what you said, Houston Source. What do you think needs to be done to get the word out further to 18-year-olds, kids coming out of high school that don't necessarily know that there's a trade where they could.
Well, I feel like the campuses that are, in, neighborhoods like where we grew up in, I remember all the classes at Worthing, man. We had wood shop, metal shop, cosmetology, was the office, hotel management, man. They had all this stuff at Worthing, but they took all this stuff out of the hood schools. Like if you go to school like Bel Air or Klein or Side Creek or something, they might have it, but they don't got it in the hood school. So I feel like the hood schools need to have somebody on their campus, some type of coordinator that's building relationships with, people in the community, to come to the school and, have an hour or two set out where they can give out information to the students, or either bring that stuff back to the hood school, which I don't think they probably will, bro.
But hey, right now at Sterling, man, you could learn how to fly an airplane at Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling been had the aviation program, but they also had trades too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew I got a lot of partners that went to Sterling, man. I know some boys that took wood shop at Sterling as carpenters now. You know what I'm saying? They make furniture. I know some welders that went to Sterling. I know some welders that went to Worthing. Like we had all that coming up, but it just ain't in the hood. And the only reason aviation is still at Sterling because it's, that's a fairly funded program, and so they still getting the grant money for their school, and that's because they make sure that they recruit students to participate in that program, and the only reason I understand all this, bro, the school I used to I went to as a youth and I worked on staff, it's called Provision Academy, man. It's in Sunnyside. Y'all really need to do a special on this school, bro, because they teach students about agriculture. It's the same school. I participated in their manhood development program, which was an after-school program that started on the southwest across the street from Welch Middle School, bro. Yeah, y'all, whenever y'all get the opportunity to, let me know when y'all want to do something on the school. This school right now has a 30-acre farm on their campus, bro, where they teach kids about aquaponics, hydroponics. They got a bee farm on campus. I've actually took a group of chefs up there on a tour of their farm and introduced them to the farm director. They got like stuff that they grow on their farm and HEB stores and everything, bro. Like,
wow.
The school is
That's
nice,
what's
bro.
up.
For real.
See, man, I think now I do. Yeah, it would be great to have a wood shop, course, have the trade stuff, but I think to your original point before that the on-campus coordinator or the because a lot of times in our school we so young. If you just give us the skill, but you don't put it all the way together, we don't necessarily, especially like this new generation of young kids, they got to know why they doing everything they do. They like I was from that era where like if you told me to do it and you were a person that I respected and understand, I didn't even have to know why I was doing it. I just did it because you told me to do it because I had a certain respect for you, the football coach, you did this. These kids, they got to know why you telling them what to do. So I think if it's like okay, if it's wood shop, that's you learning wood shop because this will empower you so you can make these type of things. Now you're gonna go to spend a day with someone who actually does that, see the light. I think without that, it becomes just like kind of a skill, but they don't know how powerful it is and how to utilize it. In my opinion.
Yeah, that's where the exposure comes in there. So this coordinator again, like I say, they need to build those relationships in the community with a carpenter, with a mechanic. You know what I'm saying? With a HVAC technician, with a electrician. Bring them to the school and let them speak to the students. Because I guarantee you, these same people that's coming to speak to these kids, they gonna show proof on why they chose to go to trade school. You know what I'm saying? I know brothers I went to Worthing with that took wood shop and took auto mechanics or women that was in cosmetology and they went straight to that after high school. They didn't choose to go to a university or a college. They went straight into their trade and they doing very well for themselves right now, bro. The proof is definitely in the pudding. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I mean, it's just I mean, to be honest, I mean, look, I'm a FAMU graduate. I'm not, hey, the HBCU experience has its value. There's a lot of intrinsic skills that I can't really, I don't even know how you measure it. But if you just pick 20 kids, 10 gonna go to college, 10 are gonna go trade, or even not just work at UPS, work on Amazon. Like, and you just look at 4 years from now. I mean, I feel like 7 out of the 10 trade kids, I think 8 out of the 10 trade kids gonna be like in a better position because the 4 year you got to really go out. You have to go into the 4 year with a plan. Like, are you interning?
You do, yeah.
And it's like,
man.
Yeah, and it's like the 4 year is
yeah.
cool I believe the 4 year is cool for studious kids. I don't think the 4 year is for everybody. I think honestly the community college. The natural step after high school should be community college, in my opinion, unless you show some type of exceptional talent to the point where someone want to give you a scholarship. But I'm from the team Booker T. I'm like, man, let's get these skills up, man. Like this, this degree ain't doing with that HVAC, But at the same time, we do need to be able to articulate ourselves, speak. We do need time amongst each other. How do you quantify the time you spent, growing with friends and go, it's hard, and I don't want to reduce the experience down to how much money you make because it's more than that too,
Right, exactly, man. It's a balance for me, a lot of the people that I've built relationships with by going to a HBCU, like stay all over the country. And that's why I'm thankful, I built those relationships with them now because when I travel and go to the different cities that they in, whether it's on some business or pleasure, they, they plug me in, you know what I'm saying? Like when I go holler at my people that I went to college with that stay in New York or Philly or something, they introduce me to their people that they know out there they do HVAC. You know what I'm saying? They be like, hey, this my boy Rob. You know what I'm saying? He went to college with me, but he in the trades now. I just wanted y'all to, meet just in case, you get some contracts or something, you need some help. It's the man that could help you do that, And so that's why it's a balance for me, bro. And I also too navigate the world now is like I try to show love and positivity as much as possible because I really believe in energy, bro. Energy is real. So I know like universal law is whatever you put out, you're gonna get it back. So no matter where I'm at, who I'm around, I make sure, I'm showing love and you know, and positivity. So it might not come back when I want it to, but I know it's coming back, and it's gonna come back at the right time. So
Hey, you done definitely put that energy out, man. Like, hey, you one of the most consistent people on as far as just on Facebook, man. You got the gratitude. And one thing though, just to take a brief step back for a lot of the viewers who don't actually understand, just we've been using the acronym HVAC, you know, and everything. Like, explain like what that trade and skill kind of consists of.
HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. But basically, you know, you got your residential side and your commercial side. Yeah. Pretty much on both sides, whatever HVAC unit is like your air conditioner. It could be your refrigerator. It has an HVAC unit on it. You know what I'm saying? It could be your freezer. They got an HVAC unit on it. So basically, you know, it just the HVAC unit is a cooling system, and it could be a heating system. So it has refrigerant that cycles throughout the system. You know what I'm saying? It turns from a gas to a liquid, from liquid to gas, bro. That's pretty much all it is. And once you know, understand that, you know, it's a lot easier to understand. Like, if you in your home and your AC not blowing as cold as you feel like it's supposed to blow, and that's when you call somebody like me over, and I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna hook my gauges up to check your refrigerant level, and I'm gonna check to see if your line's sweating. I'm gonna hold my hand up over the fan motor to see if it's pulling out heat. A lot of people think that an air conditioning units cool your home, but they don't. Air conditioning units, they pull the heat out of your home to keep your home cool. That's how they cool your house. And so a lot of homeowners, bro, even before I got into HVAC, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really understand it like that, but it's not hard to understand. And I think everybody that owns a home needs to, you know, do their research on it. And if they feel like this ain't something that they want to know about, call a professional, ask questions. If you got a friend or somebody that works in HVAC, ask questions, bro, because having an HVAC unit can get expensive if you don't do the preventative maintenance on it. Everything needs preventative maintenance. Our cars, you know, HVAC units, you know, our what's the I can't think of the name. I'm trying the water heaters in our garage. All that stuff need preventative maintenance done, bro. A lot of times we wait until something messes up on these units before we call out a professional. But when the preventative maintenance can save you a lot of money before something go bad. So yeah, HVAC, man, is just like I say, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, bro. And you know, electricity, that's kind of, you know, a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? That's, you go to your breaker box, and hopefully, if you got a organized breaker box, all of the breakers are labeled like they supposed to be. You know what each breaker go to. You know how many volts is coming from it. You know whether it's 120 or 240 volts. You know, all that stuff is good to know as a homeowner, bro. Because if not, you can get finessed by a technician. Because they got technicians out here that be finessing people, bro.
Yeah, just trying to come up. Hey, man, look, this gonna be a regular occurrence, man, because we really want to nail down this trade opportunity as far as like getting the information out to people. And I'm gonna wrote down definitely the information about your brother at Provision, man. Hey, appreciate having you. Is there any way people can, you know, get in contact with you as far as, you know, your business, or you know, we got people watching across the country. I'm sure we got some as they say, Maryland people watching, man. You know, so go ahead and close out with whatever you got going on.
If they want to get in contact with me for business purposes, man, I have a Facebook business page. The name of my business is Rare but Great Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, man. It's the acronym RBG, which of course I took from Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? And those are my colors of my business: red, black, and green. Also too, I got a business line too, a Google business line, man. I can be reached at 832-202-4067, man. If they in the Maryland area, they need some preventative maintenance done, or they just, might have some issues with the HVAC unit and want me to come check it out.
All right, hey man, appreciate having you, man. Appreciate the info shared, man. I think man, I really feel like somebody listening gonna be empowered by, hearing this story, man. So I appreciate you, brother.
Man, I appreciate the opportunity, man. I I hope somebody is empowered, man, by my story. I mean, that's why I'm still breathing. You know, that's why God wake me up every day and I'm still walking around, because you know I got purpose, and I know that's part of my purpose, man. So I'm thankful, bro, for real.
All right, no doubt, man. Hey, GHH Sessions.
If you're watching this on YouTube, man, hey, y'all, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. This is Gentleman's History Hour.